Hey guys, it's William here from Junie Lai and William's Adventures. Haven't made a video in a little while. Still here in the USA, out near Philadelphia. Had a couple of holdbacks, guys. I want to say this, welcome. We appreciate all our subscribers. We appreciate all our members and followers that continue to follow Junie Lai and William's Adventures. So we did come to you with a subject today we thought we'd talk about. LDRs. Is it good? Is it bad? What do you do when you're in an LDR? I've talked to quite a few of my subscribers. Some have which become friends that we talk quite often. A lot of guys that are coming over to the Philippines, guys, are in LDRs before they come to the Philippines. The question is this: is it good? Is it bad? Should I do LDR before I come to the Philippines? Maybe you're coming on vacation. Maybe you're planning to be an expat. And you want to know, should you get into an online relationship or at least talk on one of the dating apps? And we recommend Christian Filipina here at Junie Lai and Williams Adventures. Should I talk to a Filipina online for any amount of time before I come to the Philippines, either on vacation or as an expat? Well, let's talk about it. Let's look at the good, let's look at the bad, and let's even look at the ugly. So, I've been here in the United States since April 4th. I've been living in the Philippines prior to that for 2 years. I was there in the Philippines 3 times before that, pre-pandemic and after pandemic. Lived in the Philippines 2 years straight. Came back to sell my house and get some health checks done. Guys, I want to say this as a precautionary measure. Make sure you get all your screening and get all the things, especially if you're coming over to the Philippines as an expat. Get your stress test done. Get your colonoscopies done. Get your eyes checked. Get everything done health-wise, guys, that you can have your best life in the Philippines. Even though you'll have to transfer healthcare and things and get that in the Philippines, it's best to make sure you're healthy enough before you go. I had a colonoscopy. They found a polyp in that colonoscopy, and I had to stay here in the U.S. a little longer to get that dealt with. And I'm in the process of doing that now, waiting for a procedure, guys. And I'm also finishing up selling my house. Then I'll be returning to the Philippines and my wife and family. But I want to say this: make sure you take care of your health, guys, before you go to the Philippines, especially if you're going as an expat. Remember that, guys. It's very important. Health is wealth. Doesn't matter how much money you got if you're not healthy enough. Am I right, guys? Remember, comment, and let's talk about our subject here. LDRs. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, I've been in an LDR now for a couple months since I'm over here taking care of business in the United States. And I thought that I'd retouch about LDRs, even though it's been talked about a lot, guys. A lot of my friends, a lot of our subscribers want to know, should I be in an LDR? Well, it really comes down to your situation, guys. A lot of guys say, no, I want to wait till I get to the Philippines to meet someone. And that's a viable alternative, guys. There's nothing wrong with waiting till you go to the Philippines, whether on vacation, and meeting someone, whether you're going for the first time or you've been there before. If you want to date in person, that's very good, a very viable option. But a lot of guys, their trip to the Philippines is not going to be for a year. It's not going to be for quite a few months. And they want to talk to get a feel for how is it to be talking with a Filipina? How is it to meet a few Filipinas? Is it easier online? Well, you can go on one of the dating apps, guys, and you can sign up free. In our description, we have Christian Filipina. The sign up is free. You pay only once you meet someone that you want to get into a further discussion with, then you pay a fee. I met my wife, Junie Lee, on Christian Filipina back in 2019. I tried a few of the other dating apps, Filipina Cupid and different ones, but Christian Filipino was the best one for me. It's where I met the most serious women. And of course, where I end up meeting my wife, Junie Lai. So it's in our description, guys. You can tap the link. You can sign up for free. And then you can explore in there and decide if you want to get a subscription to that dating app. But let's get back to our subject. Is it good? Is it bad? LDR. Remember, comment, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments because we want to know what you think. Those of you that have been in LDRs, or maybe you're in an LDR now, because a lot of guys are. How long should I talk to a Filipina before I go visit her? How long should I be in an LDR? My advice here at Junie Lai and Williams Adventures is that when I was in an LDR with Junie Lai back in 2019, I went to visit her within 60 to 90 days of meeting her online. We talked for about a month. I didn't go on the dating app till I knew I was going to the Philippines. I already had my ticket for 60 days out, guys. And that's why if I met someone I was interested in, I felt that I would go meet them in a short period of time. I think that, guys, it's a mistake to talk for a year and 2 years and 3 years like a lot of guys are doing on LDRs. I've talked to quite a few subscribers said they were talking for a long period of time, even years, without meeting that person. I personally don't really consider that a relationship. I consider that like a pen pal because remember, if you do meet the person that you're very interested in online, and a lot of guys, no matter what you say, guys, they're in LDRs. They're talking to these Filipinos online. A lot of guys that are involved in these long-term relationships are giving money to people they never met in person. We've all heard the horror stories of guys that send enough money to build women they never met in person, houses, and all these different things, guys. We still recommend not sending money to anyone you haven't met in person at least one time, preferably more. Because there'll be time for that in the future, guys, if that relationship works. But remember, you don't know that person, you only know them online. And until you meet them in person, you really, truly don't know them. Especially if you've been talking for a long period of time and you start exchanging money, guys. It's not a good way to start. I remember when I first met Junie Lai, she never asked for any money. I never sent any money. The first time that I sent her money is when I took the plane and went to Manila. She was living in Mindanao. I sent her enough money to catch a plane ticket to meet me in Cebu. And that's where we met at. That was our first meeting, was in Cebu. So guys, a lot of guys are saying, well, what about money for load, William? What about if she's asking for money, her family, this one's sick or that one's sick? Guys, I don't recommend sending money for any reason. If you want to send her money for load to continue talking to you, that's fine. But load is a minimum amount of money. It's under $20, guys, at the most, US. If you sent her 1,000 pesos for load, that's more than enough load for a long, extended period of time. So there's never a need in my mindset to send a lot of money to someone you haven't met in person. So it comes back to our question. LDRs. Should I or should I not try to talk to a Filipina in an LDR before I come to the Philippines? Also, it's been brought to my attention that we always talk about guys, but there are women that are in LDRs with Filipino men. Same rules apply, ladies. Same rules that apply to the guys apply to you. Don't send money to any Filipino man that you have not met in person. Same rules. Because the same opportunity exists to get scammed. And that's the last thing you want to do, get a bad feeling or taste in your mouth for the Philippines before you even get there. So I would say that LDRs, it worked for me. It doesn't work for everyone. But a lot of guys say, well, I would never, but they are. You are talking. A lot of guys are talking in LDRs. So those of us that are vloggers, we need to tell people what the ground rules are, guys. Number one, don't send money to anyone you haven't met in person. So the other thing is, if you're going to get to know that person online in the LDR, try to make your length of talking in the LDR within 6 months. That's what I'm thinking. Within 6 months, you should be going to meet that person if you're really interested in that person. Because remember, hundreds and hundreds of guys talk to the Filipinas online, and some of them never go to the Philippines. And remember that the Filipina, if they're looking online for foreign men, they're aware that a lot of the guys, most of the guys that they're talking to are never going to come to the Philippines. They're just going to talk online. And listen, if you're just talking online, remember a lot of the guys that talk online, they're older, they're lonely, they've been through a lot of things in life, like a lot of us in our after 65 or in the fourth quarter of our life have been through a lot. And to see this beautiful woman that's probably half your age in the camera, on the phone, on the laptop, spending a lot of time talking to you, telling you things that you haven't heard in years, that you're still valuable, you're still attractive, you're still wanted. It's intoxicating. And a lot of times, if you're talking a long period of time to that woman, that beautiful Filipino online, you're going to end up sending money to someone you don't know. A lot of guys won't admit it, but they have sent lots of money, a lot of money, to women they don't know. Don't do it, guys. So I would say that if you want to be in an LDR and you want to get the feeling of talking to a Filipino woman or man, if you're a woman, before you go to the Philippines, there's nothing wrong with that. But my suggestion would be, and remember, it's only my opinion, that you set your date. Be already ready to go to the Philippines on vacation. If you do meet the one that you're interested in, you want to be ready to go to the Philippines. You don't want to just continue talking and talking. Because remember, she's going to talk to other people. If you're going to be exclusive, she wants to know that you're coming. That's what my wife has told me. I said, well, what's the rules of engagement for LDR? She said, we expect that the guy will be coming over at the longest a year. But we're hoping that he comes over within at least 6 months. I myself came in 2 to 3 months, guys. So if you're going to be in an LDR, which I don't see anything wrong with it if you're not sending money, you have a time frame that you're going to the Philippines on vacation. I never suggest selling everything and moving to the Philippines until you've at least went to visit the Philippines. Because a lot of guys have done that. Some it has worked for, and some it has been a disaster. Remember, a lot of times, even the person that you've been talking to in an LDR, once you meet them in person, I was asked by a lot of subscribers, what if we don't have the chemistry once we meet in person? Well, guys, things move fast in the Philippines. Don't move anyone in with you that you've just met for the first time in person. Date first, guys. Because you may not have chemistry. You may end up meeting someone that you like better. I remember one gentleman, he met his LDR after about 2 years. Finally went to the Philippines. True story. He went over there and the family was around, and it ended up being a chemistry between the foreigner and the girl's sister, not the girl he had been talking to for 2 years. So remember, these things happen. Don't lock yourself in just because you've been talking to that one for quite a while. Remember, don't move her in right away. If you're going to be there for a month, you're going to be there for 3 weeks, date. Because it may not be the first one that you meet, and it normally isn't, that you end up with. I talked to other Filipinas online before I met Junie Lee, and she ended up being my soulmate. So be patient, guys. Take your time. LDRs can work if you're patient. And those of you that say, well, look, I just want to go over William and meet someone in person. I want to go over Stag. I don't want to talk to anyone. That's fine too. It's optional. It's up to you. But those of you that are already in LDRs, remember these things. Don't send money to someone that you have never met in person. If you do, and you just have to, no more than enough for load. Because, guys, you don't know if that relationship's going to work. And then you're putting a lot of money out, building houses, buying cars and motorcycles, and you don't know if that's the girl you're going to end up with. So that's what we wanted to talk about for a little while. Just LDRs. Should I? Shouldn't I? Are they good? Are they bad? Well, guys, remember those tips and you'll have the option. I hope that if you're in an LDR, it's working out for you and you're going over there soon. So remember, use the precautions. Don't send money. That's about the third time I said it, but I keep saying it because guys keep sending money. And get to know that girl, but make the time frame that you're going to visit her shorter. Short as possible. If you've been talking for a couple months and you're ready to go meet her. If that's really your soulmate and the person that you're going to be with, don't waste a lot of time talking for 2 and 3 years. That's really not a relationship. That's just a pen pal friend. If you've been talking for 3, 4 years and you've never met her, remember, she's not going to wait that long. Not in reality. So this is William. Tell us what you think. What do you think about LDRs? Is it good or bad? Would you do it? Would you never do it? And we'll be glad to respond to the comments. Once again, keep us in your prayers as we go back for another procedure for colonoscopy so that we can get back to the Philippines in the next month or so. And we'll see you next time here at Junie Lai and Williams Adventures. Till then, remember, enjoy every day because tomorrow is not promised. See you next time, guys.